Here we are, everybody, the next infamous episode of SpongeBob. Why is this episode so infamously bad in Season 1? Well, people often say that the squeaking in this episode is extremely annoying because of the constant squeaking noise that SpongeBob makes from his boots. But what do I think of this episode? We'll find out soon. First off though, the plot is that Mr. Krabs buys these boots for his daughter Pearl. Yes, this is the first episode that introduces Pearl. She ends up hating the boots that Mr. Krabs buys her. Due to not wanting to get rid of them due to being so cheap, Mr. Krabs gives them to SpongeBob, convincing him that only the world's greatest fry cooks can wear these boots. After the constant annoyance of the squeaking, Mr. Krabs ends up stealing the boots from SpongeBob and hiding them to stop the constant squeaking noise. The next day, Mr. Krabs ends up going insane, only being able to hear the noise of the boots until he ends up admitting to SpongeBob that he hid the boots under the floorboards. After this, he fries and eats the boots and ends up taking a vacation, but he ends up getting the squeaky boots hiccups. Yeah, when your entire episode relies on one constant annoying noise, it's safe to say that the episode isn't going to be great. It's kind of hard to talk about anything else when the entire plot and humor of this episode is SpongeBob making an annoying squeaking noise, but I'll try. This episode starts off pretty alright. It's honestly just your basic start to an episode, and it's pretty inoffensive, to be honest. It's the next part that is when it really starts to get bad. When SpongeBob obtains the boots, basically the only thing that happens is that everyone is getting annoyed by the squeaking of SpongeBob's boots, which isn't a good thing, as it also leaves the people watching this episode pretty annoyed. Then the next part is just flat out weird and unhinged, with Mr. Krabs going on a full-on paranoia and trying to get rid of the boots. And what follows is one of the weirdest sequences of Mr. Krabs, just hearing the squeaking noise coming out of everybody. Yeah, this part is pretty creepy and not in a good way. This episode overall was just a bad idea in my opinion, as the plot was centered around an annoying noise which just doesn't go anywhere. With this, I didn't find this episode too terrible, as it's not completely awful, which is why I'm giving it a 3 out of 10, dethroning Jellyfish as the worst episode of this season and overall so far.